Battle of Yarmouk. When the Persian army got busy with their government leadership problems, that gave the Muslims time to focus on the Roman enemies who wanted to have a really big war on the other side. After the Muslims finally got control of Damascus, this shocked the Romans because they thought the Muslims were weak. This victory was also very important for Muslims to spread the message of Islam. Abu Sufyan's two sons, General Uncle Yazid and Muawiyah, both were in charge to protect Damascus. Commander-in-Chief Abu Ubaidah and the second-in-command, Khalid bin Walid, went far north to spread the message of Islam peacefully to the people. The general people were accepting this beautiful religion, Islam, and accepted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as their only God. They successfully spread Islam to present-day Aleppo, Syria. At that time, the Roman capital was in Istanbul, Turkey. The Christian Roman king did not like that the true religion, Islam, was spreading. So he started to send different small armies to attack the innocent Muslims. During the night when the Muslims were sleeping, they suddenly attacked the innocent Muslims and destroyed the Muslim men, women, and children. But the Muslims were still spreading Islam peacefully. When the Christian king Heraclius realized that nothing would stop the Muslims from spreading Islam, then he made a different plan. First, to become stronger, he made friendship with his very long-time enemy, Persia. So, King Heraclius' granddaughter and the 10-year-old Persian king, Yezdegerd III, got married. At that time, the Persian capital was next to Baghdad, Iraq. Then, the Christian king Heraclius built a very big army with more than 200,000 soldiers to destroy the Muslims and control all of Arabia. After hearing that bad news, Abu Ubaidah and Khalid bin Walid decided to get together all their strong people in one place to protect Islam. Even to save the general people, they decided to move out from the very important place of Damascus. All the Muslims who were spreading Islam peacefully in Palestine and northern and central Syria started to get together in an open place next to the Yarmouk River at Jordan, close to the Sea of Galilee. Do you remember the Jewish tribe of Banu Nadir? For more details, you can see our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ story in episode 29. In short, around 10 years before, they planned to kill the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and because of this and many other bad actions, they were kicked out from Medina. After they left, they started to live near the Yarmouk River. That area was under the Roman Empire, and the Christian king Heraclius did not let the Jews follow their religion and forced them to be Christians. The Roman Christian soldiers gave the Jewish people a very hard time. The Jews realized that the Muslim law was really good and beautiful. Islam protected all the people's freedom and safety. So, when the Jews heard about the big fight, right away the Jews were on the Muslim side. They knew that 10 years ago, the mistake that they made was their fault. But at the end of the day, the Jews of Banu Nadir knew the Muslims always kept their promises, and the Muslims always gave them the freedom of religion. The Jewish Banu Nadir tribe was very good at making army uniforms and swords. So to help the Muslims, they joined the war and made lots of war items so that the Muslims would be safe. The Muslims had about 40,000 soldiers, and the Romans had more than 200,000 soldiers. And the battlefield was around 6 miles long. So far, this was the biggest battle for the Muslims and one of the most critical battles in the army history. Abu Ubaidah was the Muslim commander-in-chief, but for this war, he asked Khalid bin Walid to be the main commander-in-chief. Many famous people's children also joined this war, like Abu Jahl's son, Ikramah, Khalid bin Walid's son, Abu Bakr radhiyallahu son, Umar radhiyallahu son, Uthman radhiyallahu son, and Ali radhiyallahu nephews. As we know, the Battle of Badr was the first battle for the Muslims with only 313 soldiers. And for this war, around 100 of those great Muslim soldiers also joined the Battle of Yarmouk. From Yemen, 5,000 archers or arrow shooters came to join the war. Many other powerful people also joined the battle. 71-year-old Abu Sufyan and his wife Hind also joined that battle to protect Islam. Many regular people and lots of women also joined this war for Islam. Finally, the day came for the Battle of Yarmouk during August of 636, 4 years after Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's death. On the first day, both armies divided their soldiers into 4 big groups. Shurabil, Amr ibn al-As, Uncle Yazid, and Abu Ubaidah radhiyallahu was in charge of each of the big army groups. The Romans had 5 horse groups and the Muslims had 4 horse groups. As commander-in-chief, Khalid radhiyallahu was also in charge of the horse groups. On the second day, the very big and strong Roman army strongly attacked and weakened the Muslims' right and left sides of the army. At one point, the Muslims started to run away. But some Muslim women, like Hind, Abu Sufyan's wife, and other Sahabis' wives, showed their braveness and tried to stop the Muslim men from running away. They insulted the men for being cowards and scared. Then, the Muslim women took their husbands' swords and they started to fight against the big Roman army. When their husbands saw that, they got their courage back again and went back to stop the big Roman army. On the third day, the Romans did not attack the left side. They attacked the Muslims' weak side, which was on the right. Khalid radhiyallahu divided his horse group in 2 and started to help the weak side and stopped the Romans for that day. On the 4th day, the Romans again attacked very strongly and started to throw arrows at the Muslims. It was a very sad day for the Muslims. Almost 700 Muslims lost an eye. Abu Sufyan also lost his eye during this fight. It was known as the Day of Lost Eyes. But the Muslims had their strong faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and tried their best to stop the Roman army. The Romans were very surprised that their big and strong army could not destroy the Muslim army. In these 4 days, the Romans lost many of their soldiers. So, on the 5th day, the Romans did not want to fight and wanted to stop the fight. Khalid radhiyallahu realized that the Romans became tired and they might escape from the battleground and come back with more soldiers. So, at night, he sent 500 horses behind the Roman army to block their only escape route. Every day, the Romans attacked first, but Khalid radhiyallahu realized that it is now the Muslims' turn. So, on the final 6th day, he gathered all the horses together and made one single strong horse group. he ordered the Muslims to attack first. As soon as the Muslims attacked, he quickly went to the right side with a strong horse group and destroyed the Romans on that side. The Muslims quickly attacked the next group. The Romans were attacked by Khalid radhiyallahu anhu's speed and sudden attack. All the Roman horse groups got together to stop Khalid radhiyallahu anhu, but they were late and were destroyed by Khalid radhiyallahu anhu's horse group. At one point, they tried to escape the battlefield, but realized that their path was blocked by the Muslims. They were trapped by the two rivers, and the Muslim army destroyed the most powerful army at that time. Winning this battle made the Muslims a superpower in that land, and made Khalid bin Walid radhiyallahu anhu a great fighter and commander-in-chief in the history of all time. The Muslim women were also great heroes in this battle. Did you know that one of the top Muslim generals was a woman called Khawla radhiyallahu anha? She learned to fight from her brother, Durar. One time when her brother was fighting against the Romans, he got hurt, and they took him back to the Roman side. Khawla radhiyallahu anha was protective of her older brother. So, she dressed like a man and went all the way back to the Roman army to save her older brother. In another situation against the Romans, when many Muslim men were scared to fight against the strong Roman army, Khawla radhiyallahu anha went straight towards them to fight. Many thought she was Khalid bin Walid and followed her. Khalid bin Walid thought that she was a man fighting and was wondering who that good fighter was. Later, Khalid radhiyallahu anhu asked who she was. Khawla radhiyallahu anha did not reply for a long time until she finally removed the cloth from her face and told him that her name was Khawla. Khalid bin Walid was shocked as one by one, all of her soldiers took off their face coverings, and he saw that they were all women fighting like some of the best soldiers in the battlefield. So, in the Battle of Yarmouk, Khawla radhiyallahu anha easily became one of the top generals. Even when the Muslim men were scared, Khawla radhiyallahu anha by herself led an entire group of female warriors to protect Islam. The Muslim women had a big part of this war, and they showed us that it doesn't matter if someone is a man or a woman, we can all make a difference, and we are able to do anything if we truly want it. They showed us that we should always give women proper respect and opportunity, because they just might be the reason for our strength and our success.